Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Teacher Tech Tips. Last week we talked about downloading and installing OBS, using that to create a few scenes and make your live streams a little bit more engaging, a little bit easier to use, and a little bit less dependent on Zoom's kind of non-user-friendly features. Today we're going to expand on that. We're going to take it one step further, and we're going to actually use a cheap green screen from Amazon, about $20, and I'll have a link down in the description below, but we'll use that cheap green screen to get this effect that I'm showing right now, having just my floating head over my desktop background, showing exactly what you want to display while also having yourself in the frame so that you can give visual prompts, you can talk with your hands, and you can make your live streams all around more accessible through using just this cheap thing from Amazon. So our target for today is we're going to be able to use that affordable green screen to improve the quality and the accessibility of your educational live streams. So I'm going to switch over and show you exactly how to do this from my desktop share, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are at my desktop. I've got my OBS software opened up. If you don't know what this is or how to set it up, go ahead and check out our first video where we went through in detail how to create or how to download and install OBS, how to set it up with your first basic two scenes. And what I've gone ahead and done here is I've created a new blank scene. You can see I've got lots of different ones that I actually use in my teaching, but I've created a new blank one so I can show you exactly how this green screen works. So the first thing I'm going to do in this new scene is I'm going to get my webcam in here because I want my students to be able to see me, and I'm going to be using a green screen, and my computer needs to see that green screen somehow. And I already have my webcam as an existing capture device, so I'm just going to add that right here, and you can see there's me. I'm on the screen. I can resize, and I actually have an HD webcam now, so my quality is a little bit higher. I'll also have a link for that in the description. Again, only $20 on Amazon, and it really upgraded the quality of my stream. So I highly recommend this webcam that I'll have in the description. But here's me in my house. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a window capture too, so that my students will be able to see what I'm showing. And what you'll notice here, if I put my head on top, is that it's most of the way there. This is what we worked on in that first video, and it looks pretty good. I mean, you can still have you in the video, and you can still be sharing your desktop stuff up here to the left. So that's a pretty good start. However, for 20 bucks, you can grab yourself a green screen and really up your quality, and that's what we're going to be working on today. So now that we've got our basic scene set up, that took about, what, 30 seconds? Pretty quick and easy. But now you need to crack out your green screen. So I'm going to slide mine in here. I've got this on kind of a cheap plastic mount, but I can slide it behind me and make sure that it's covering my entire background so I don't have any corners showing. I've just got green behind me, and just like that, I've got my green screen set up. You can hang this on whatever, as long as your backdrop is green. You know, you could even have it hanging down a wall, put it on a chair, whatever you need to do to make sure that this is covering your whole background, then the rest will work pretty easily. So I've got my green screen behind me, but that still doesn't help because now it just looks like a green background instead of my house. So here's what we're going to do in OBS. We're going to go down here to the webcam. We're going to right click on it. We know we've selected the right one because it highlighted there. And then we're going to click Filters. Now, Filters is where we can add all kinds of effects and things. If you've got corners that are showing a little bit out, you can use cropping to bring your video in. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. In fact, look here, we can see a ton of filters, and you can download additional ones online. I'm sure we'll go over that in a future video. But for today, for the green screen, we're going to be talking about chroma key. So chroma key is the filter that we're going to want to make the green screen happen. And look at that, it already is off to a great start. You can see it deleted my green background, and now I'm kind of just floating in front of a gray background here. Now this is a really good start, and that's because I've put some work into setting up my green screen, but I want to show you a couple of these settings. So the first thing you can do is it really doesn't have to be a green screen. It just has to be a contrasting color with whatever you're wearing and whatever your skin color is. So it just can't be the same. It automatically selects green, and that's why I was able to do such a good job of figuring out what's behind me. But you can see if you change some settings around, it will change what it's filtering out. So apparently it thinks my face is a little bit magenta, But I'm going to go back to green, and then with a couple of these settings, we can really customize how much it's filtering out. So if I turn this down, you can see the tolerance for what green color it's filtering out goes down, and suddenly the green starts coming back. But if I bring this similarity back up, it starts getting more and more of the green. Now where this can get dangerous is if you go too far, you'll see I'm actually wearing green glasses right now. And if I go too far, you'll see those are going to start, oh, my forehead is starting to get filtered out. My glasses actually aren't getting filtered out. That's kind of nice, but it is starting to pick up some other shades on me and filtering them out. So you want to use this slider to find a balance of filtering out as much of your background as possible without filtering out any of yourself. So you can see I've got it in a pretty good medium right now. There was a little bit of feedback I saw right here a little bit earlier, but it actually looks like it's doing pretty good. Oh, there's a little bit of fuzziness, but you'll see that won't have a huge effect once we go back into our OBS. You can change some of these other settings to continue configuring exactly how much sensitivity this green screen effect will have. You can see this is helping with some stuff, but it's getting that forehead shine filtered out. So you can mess with a couple of these things to really tweak it exactly how you want, but once you've got you're not seeing any green background, you're just seeing yourself in the foreground, you can go ahead and click close, and look at this. Now, it just essentially uses that green screen as a transparent background. So, I'm floating around this screen, it's keeping track of what's behind me, and looking really smooth and professional without having to share, my background in my house, whatever I have behind me. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can grow your head really big, and it'll still have your background behind it. So this is super powerful because you can do all kinds of cool things with it. One way that I like to use this in my classroom, for example, is when I'm trying to show like a website or this where I've got a visual, like a graphic of whatever concept I'm trying to teach. I can actually use the green screen to move my head around the screen and indicate different things that are going on. So you can see I've got this graphic of a magnet. I can point at what's going on. I can still bring my mouse over here and interact with the actual web page, but then on my OBS, I can move my head around and point to different things. I can prompt different questions, I can underline. So there's a lot of power that this tool has once you've got just your body interacting with your background in this way. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you will be able to utilize this yourself to improve your own live streams and make it a little bit more accessible and engaging for your students. If it did help you out, please let us know in the comments. And if there's something else you'd like to see about how to improve or further make better your live streams, we'd love to work on it. So please just let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next week.